Yu Long collapses again on live interview while talking about the twins. What began as a simple interview meant to update fans on Yang Mie Mie's recovery and the condition of their unborn twins turned into one of the most heartbreaking moments of the year. Yu Long, visibly fragile but trying to remain composed, broke down during the broadcast, sending shockwaves through the studio and around the world. It was supposed to be a moment of clarity, a controlled chance for him to speak for the first time since Yang Mie Mie was rushed to the hospital. Instead, it became a raw, unfiltered glimpse into a man at his emotional breaking point live and witnessed by millions. The moment it happened, Yu Long appeared on a popular morning talk show in what producers described as a brief, gentle update regarding Yang Mie Mie's condition and the twins she's still fighting to protect. Dressed in a black jacket and a simple grey shirt, he looked much thinner than usual. There were shadows under his eyes. His voice was quieter than fans remembered. The segment started calmly. Yu Long spoke softly about the outpouring of support they had received. He thanked fans who had camped outside the hospital and sent messages from all over the world. But as soon as the host gently asked, "How are the babies doing?" something in him shifted. There was a pause. Then his breath hitched. Then his hands began to tremble. Yu Long reached for his water but missed the glass entirely. He tried to speak but couldn't. The silence stretched longer than anyone expected. And then, without warning, he slumped forward, elbows hitting the table as staff rushed in. The camera cut to black. The network switched to commercials. But the damage was already done. The world had seen it. And now everyone was asking, what happened to Yu Long? Live audience in shock. Viewers in the live studio screamed as Yu Long collapsed. According to audience members who later spoke to reporters, the entire studio was frozen in disbelief. "He didn't cry like a man who was emotional," one witness said. "He cried like a man who had lost everything." Another added, "I've never seen someone fall like that from pain. Not physical pain. Something deeper." The show's producers immediately halted the recording. Security escorted fans out of the room as emergency staff tended to Yu Long behind closed curtains. Yang Mie Mie's team responds. Just hours after the incident, Yang Mie Mie's publicist issued a soft but emotional message. Yu Long has been under immense emotional strain. The health of the twins remains critical. He is safe and recovering. Please give them space and compassion. Yang Mi herself has not spoken, but a nurse at the hospital confirmed she was informed shortly after the collapse. The news left her silent for hours, staring out the hospital window with tears streaming down her face. According to one doctor, she whispered just one thing: "He can't fall apart now. We're too close." The pain behind his words. Sources close to Yu Long revealed that he hadn't slept properly in days. He had been moving between Yang Mi's room and the neonatal specialist's floor, sometimes staying up until 5 a.m. to monitor the equipment tracking the twins' vital signs. On the morning of the interview, he reportedly received updates suggesting one twin's condition had worsened. He hadn't told anyone. He had simply gone on with the interview, trying to stay strong. But when asked about the twins, the pain broke through. One insider said, "He's been carrying this story like a soldier. But even soldiers collapse. Especially when it's your children." Fans rushed to show support. The internet exploded immediately after the live footage aired. Within minutes, hashtags like #StayStrongYuLong, #ProtectTheTwins, and #YouLongBreaksDown dominated global trends. Messages poured in from every corner of the world. "We saw your pain. We're crying with you. Yu Long doesn't need to be strong for us. He's already given everything. Let this man breathe. He's carrying the weight of 3 lives." Outside the hospital, fans returned with flowers, photos, and signs reading "We believe in miracles." What happens next? Yu Long is now being closely monitored by both medical staff and psychological counselors. Doctors confirmed he experienced a physical collapse due to emotional overload, stress, and fatigue. Yang Mie Mie's condition remains stable, but the twins' health is still a delicate, unpredictable battle. Specialists are preparing for the possibility of an emergency delivery. But they're also hoping for time. Time for the babies to grow stronger. Time for Yang Mi to recover. And time for Yu Long to gather himself again. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. But this much is clear: Yu Long can no longer carry the weight alone. He has cried. He has broken. He has begged. And now, maybe for the first time, the world understands that fame does not shield the heart. A man. A father. A broken hero. This collapse wasn't about ratings. It wasn't staged. It was real. Too real. A man who once stood tall on red carpets, who delivered lines with poise and calm, was now on the ground, not in costume, not acting, but surviving. Not for applause. Not for image. But for love. He fought so Yang Mie would survive. He fought for the twins to live. And now, it is time for the world to fight for him. Because every warrior deserves to rest. Even the ones who never stop fighting. Yang Mie Mie walks out of hospital hours after Yu Long's breakdown, doctors left in panic. Just when the public thought things couldn't get more chaotic, Yang Mie Mie made a move that no one, not even her doctors, saw coming. Mere hours after Yu Long collapsed live on national television, the actress stunned hospital staff and fans by leaving her room unaccompanied, refusing a wheelchair, and demanding to see him in person. Still visibly weak, recovering from days of sedation and a pregnancy that's been called medically miraculous and dangerously unstable, Yang Mie stunned everyone with one chilling sentence. If he's falling apart, then I need to be the one to hold him now. Unexpected exit stirs emergency alarms. According to nurses on the floor, Yang Mie quietly removed her drip, dressed herself in silence, and stepped out of her room without alerting any staff. Monitors began beeping. Alarms went off. And a full medical alert was issued before she was even found. The shocking part? She didn't leave the hospital. She walked barefoot, weak, and barely balanced straight to the hospital chapel, where Yu Long had been moved after his collapse. Security cameras caught the moment she entered the room. He was sitting alone on a pew. Eyes closed. Head down. Breathing slowly. Then she appeared. And for a moment, time stood still. Let me be your strength this time. Witnesses say Yang Mie collapsed into his arms the second she reached him. They held each other without speaking for what felt like forever. No cameras. No microphones. Just two broken people clinging to the only thing they still had: each other. A nurse who witnessed it whispered through tears. She was shaking. He was sobbing. But when they held each other, it was like the chaos stopped. That chapel became their world. After minutes in silence, Yang Mie reportedly pulled his face to hers and whispered, "You carried me through the fire. Now let me carry you through the ashes." Yu Long was heard responding, "I can't lose you, or them." And her answer was a whisper, steady, clear, and impossible to forget. "Then we fight. Together." Doctors stunned by her physical strength. After their moment in the chapel, doctors rushed to check her vitals. To their shock, Yang Mie's body, despite the emotional stress, was still stable. Her pulse was strong. Her breathing was clear. Even the twins showed movement in her womb. One specialist said, "Medically, she should have collapsed. But she didn't. It's like something spiritual held her together." Another added, "We don't know how. But that moment with Yu Long may have saved all three of them." The hospital has since updated her status to closely monitored but emotionally stable. The world reacts, tears, cheers, and shock. Once news broke that Yang Mie had left her room to comfort Yu Long, the internet went into complete emotional meltdown. Global fans, already shattered by Yu Long's public breakdown, began trending new hashtags. #Yang Mie the warrior. #They only have each other. #Fight for the twins. #Miracle love in the chapel. One fan posted, "She walked through pain to find him. If that's not love, I don't know what is." Another shared, "Their story is no longer just about survival. It's about two souls refusing to give up on each other." Yang Mie Mie's first public statement since hospitalization. Later that evening, Yang Mie's management released a handwritten letter from her bedside. It read, "To those who prayed for us, thank you. To those who doubted us, we forgive you. And to the tiny hearts still growing inside me, we are waiting for you. And we're not going anywhere." It was the first time since her collapse that the world had heard directly from her. And it shook everyone. What happens next? Final decision looms. Doctors are now preparing for a possible early delivery. The condition of one twin remains fragile, but there are signs of improvement. A final decision must be made soon: either allow the pregnancy to continue and risk further complications, or perform an early cesarean section and fight for the baby's survival outside the womb. And now, it's no longer just a medical decision. Long and Yang Mie must decide together. Do they wait, or do they act? Their next choice could define their lives forever.